Hi, Katie here with your GalcoTV Industry update. This week we're talking about Toyota's human support robot, ABB and Shanghai Electric's partnership in the offshore wind power market and the Boring Company's tunnel under LA. Toyota's human support robot has already seen use in Japanese hospitals, delivering food and water to patients and helping them open doors. Recently, it has also successfully completed its first home trial, helping a paraplegic U.S. Army veteran regain some independence and improve his quality of life, performing tasks such as opening doors and fetching water bottles. A video released by Toyota shows some of the build process and test procedures of the robot before it is delivered to the man's home. The robot is able to navigate its environment and identify objects through the use of symbols similar in appearance to QR codes. Its operator is also able to input specific commands by tapping on a touchscreen. Toyota's human support robot's origins began in 2007 with the launch of their Robot Partner Program, which aimed to develop robots that could be integrated into everyday life. This had led to the invention of robots for personal transport, playing violin, and potentially even for the future operation on the moon. The human support robot is not their first foray into medical assistance robotics. However, in 2011, they unveiled a series of robotic braces and exoskeletons that were designed to improve rehabilitation of injured or sick patients, helping with walking, balance, posture, and even transferring patients between beds. The creation of the Toyota Research Institute in 2015 should bring even more robotic innovation to the world, with a focus on autonomous cars and robot helpers for the home. The company has said that it plans to invest $1 billion into the institute over the next 5 years. ABB and Shanghai Electric Group have recently signed the annual framework agreement on offshore 4-megawatt wind turbine converter supply for the third consecutive year since 2015. As one of the biggest enterprise groups in China's equipment manufacturing industry, Shanghai Electric provides wind power solutions integrating the design, manufacturing, technical consulting, and EPC of large wind turbine for customers all over the world. By the end of 2016, it accounted for 58% of the world's total installed capacity in terms of offshore wind turbines. 4-megawatt wind turbine is the flagship model supplied by Shanghai Electric and also the most popular model in today's offshore wind power market. As a partner and supplier of Shanghai Electric, ABB has tailored the wind turbine converter ACS 880-87LC for Shanghai Electric's offshore 4-megawatt wind turbines so as to further consolidate its leading position in offshore wind power market. Compact in design and easy for installation, the full-power liquid-cooled wind turbine converter can be extensively applied to both onshore and offshore wind turbines. Under the agreement, ABB will supply 2.5-megawatt wind turbine converters to Shanghai Electric as well. Up to now, ABB has delivered, as agreed, more than 300 sets of 4-megawatt wind power converters to Shanghai Electric with a total installed capacity of more than 120 gigawatts, which were applied in more than a dozen offshore wind power projects. These two parties work together to promote the development and utilization of green and clean wind power in China. Elon Musk announced on Twitter that GoDot, the name of the Boring Company's boring machine, has begun boring and completed its first segment of a tunnel underneath Los Angeles. The Boring Company was off to a bit of a slow start initially, with it being unclear how long it would take Musk to convince the city to allow him to move his experiment beyond the SpaceX parking lot in Hawthorne. In May, Musk posted test runs of his electric sled mechanism that would, in theory, ferry cars at speeds up to 124 miles per hour, following a concept video in April showing what an interconnected tunnel network may look like in a decade or two after being fully flushed out. The tunnels in the concept video are accessed by parking your car onto street-level elevators throughout the city, which will then transport the car underground into the tunnel and then up to the street level upon reaching its destination. The end goal of these underground tunnels is to cut down on traffic congestion found on today's highways, while also introducing a method of much faster transport. For comparison, a trip from LA's Westwood neighborhood to Los Angeles International Airport usually takes about 30 to 60 minutes on today's freeways, while a trip in Musk's proposed tunnel system cuts that travel time to as little as 5 minutes. The first tunnel is set to run from LAX to Culver City, Santa Monica, Westwood, and Sherman Oaks. If this initial attempt is a success, the Boring Company plans to cover more of the greater LA area in the future. That is it for this week's Industry Update. Make sure you tune in next week for more of the latest news in electronics, automation, and robotics.